Radio, the talk show podcast station. This is Let's Talk. I don't count lights, calories, or blessings. I don't download snakes or fight my tongue. It is what it is. I am what I am, and I am your host, Tony Williams. Shout out to my new listeners and my on ones, day ones. All information and resources are based on the opinions of the host, unless otherwise noted. All information is intended to motivate, encourage, and inspire positive change and a healthier lifestyle. This podcast contains some quotations, images, and/or excerpts from copyrighted material. These uses fall well within the copyright doctrine of fair use. To get in touch with On One Radio, the call-in number is 318-315-3971. Again, that's 318-315-3971. And to email onOneRadioTalk@gmail.com. Welcome to Let's Talk, brought to you by On One Radio, the talk show podcast station. Welcome, come on in, get comfortable, laugh, and enjoy. Welcome everybody. I hope you have had a great weekend and things are going relatively smooth in spite of the current situations that are taking place at the moment with the pandemic and everything. So, this is an open discussion. So this is pretty much, we're just going to be talking about whatever you want to talk about, whatever I want to talk about. So let's get into it. Thank you for tuning in. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here. I greatly appreciate that. So, I guess let's get into the first thing that we've read it, and it's not helpful. We decided to finally go to eating place because we really hadn't done it since all of this started. But we went to Burger King in our parish, and it was relatively clean and empty, and we were like, okay, cool. The workers were even, social distancing, and I kept seeing them wash their hands, hit the hand sanitizer, wiping down things, just going through the precautions. Well, right after we ordered our food, this guy comes in, and he's not wearing a mask. Kind of pissed me off. And I know it rubbed the employees the wrong way because the looks on their faces said it all. He had the damn audacity to say it was against his religion to wear a mask. Now that's bullshit. That's really bullshit. Because even in doing research, I have yet to find where there is even a religion that says you can't wear a mask. If it's a religion, it's something that was made up about 10 damn seconds before he decided to walk his ass in that damn Burger King. We definitely stayed our distance from him because we don't want it. I know the hell I don't want it. So we kept our damn distance. And it just goes to show how much stupidity and ignorance is out there in the world. And to be honest about it, that type of stupidity and ignorance is a killer, literally. Because, hell, he could have it.
And in his ignorance of saying it's against his religion and not wanting to abide by the precautions set forth, you're spreading. You're possibly spreading and don't even know it. I don't even think it's a matter of even caring. And it makes you wonder, does this person even care about themselves? Because they clearly don't care about anybody else. But does this guy even give a shit about himself? Because he just running around like shit is alright. It's not alright. You know, as a kid, we were told about the boogeyman. The damn boogeyman is real. COVID-19 is the boogeyman, damn it. And it's out there. You can't see it. You can't hear it. You can't smell it. And that's even worse. It can just run up on you within a second or two, and you don't even know it. Because now they're saying it's somewhat airborne. So, like, wear a damn mask. Don't be selfish. Wear a mask. Like, you gotta care about yourself. Because if you can care about yourself and put the damn mask on, then it shows that you care about others too. Because I believe that's just selfish. That's selfish as fuck. I'm gonna be honest about it. It's selfish as fuck. And that shit needs to stop. Because that's the only way we're gonna get any type of control of this shit. And to be honest, I keep hearing people saying, oh, I just want things to go back to the normal way it was. And I want things to be okay too. But to be honest about it, what the hell is normal? Because there's so much going on. And if it's so much fuckery going on and that's normal, I don't even want damn normal. I don't want it. Y'all can keep that shit. Fuck that. Let me be weird and deal with the weird shit. I can handle that better. Because this quote unquote normal shit is very fucking normal to me. But it is what it is. So, moving along, let's go over into a little bit of news. A little bit of news. How about that? A little bit of news? Yeah, let's do a little bit of news. Okay, so I was running across articles and I was reading through, and McDonald's is having a tough time right now. I know everybody loves McDonald's. Well, not everybody, but there's a lot of people who do. Can't go a week without it. But McDonald's, like any other business, has hiccups, issues, and so forth. And, well, McDonald's got a couple nasty hiccups here. So, McDonald's is investigating its HR department and possible cover-up of employee misconduct. And that's about about a former CEO. Now, the McDonald's investigation into the behavior of its former CEO includes whether he covered up some shit of other employees. Now, they also investigating allegations of possible misconduct within its human resource department. And, you know, that's kind of should I say the backbone of a business? Yeah. HR department is pretty much, you know, that's the engine right there. Now, when McDonald's cut ties with the CEO, Steve Easterbrook, last year, they said he had demonstrated poor judgment involving a recent consensual relationship with an employee. And they fired him. They fired his ass. We know we're not supposed to do that shit anyway. There's no fraternizing on a job. And to be honest about it, you don't shit where you eat. That's like taking a shit on your kitchen table. Who the hell want to do that knowing that you got to eat there? And this is your job. Now, in July, according to the company, they received anonymous tips alleging that Eastbrook had engaged in other relationships. Now, that's what prompted the investigations. So, you know, the board got to get on get on in there and do their thing and see what the hell is going on. And you know that's not going to turn out too damn well. So, they're going to follow the facts wherever they may lead. Now, this isn't a statement they gave. We will continue to make changes where necessary to support all parts of our organization. So y'all gonna cover it up too? Is it gonna get a slap on the wrist? What y'all really gonna do about that? His dick talk to him and speak more for him than his brain. His dick is making decisions. That's pretty much what it is. Dick privilege. Yeah, we're gonna call that dick privilege. Because he running around fucking everything on his job. Which ain't good, because, I mean, then the relationship changes from co-worker to fuck buddy. And somebody, when two people lay down, somebody gonna get up with feelings. And so the work environment is gonna definitely change. That whole atmosphere is gonna change. It's going to be some type of feelings. Whether good or bad, it's going to be some feelings. And somebody going to be in their feelings. Now, the company apparently is trying to figure this shit out. I mean, they got lawyers involved in everything. See, this is why you don't do this shit. Now, the recent investigation into Eastbrook has prompted the company to sue him for the value of his severance package. So, not only did they fire your ass, but they gave you some money to go out here, take this change and get your hot dick ass the fuck up out of our company. That's what the fuck you do. But now they suing for that shit. Get that shit back. Are they gonna win that? I don't know. Now, Eastbrook's lawyers have filed a motion to dismiss the suit, arguing that McDonald's first investigation would have uncovered all information that was relevant to the terms of his exit package. That's a doozy. That's a doozy. I'm telling you. See, that's why you don't do that shit. That is why you do not shit where you eat. Because that shit gonna come back and that funk gonna hit you in the nose every damn time. Like, nobody gets away with it. Nobody. Because somebody is gonna be in their feelings about some shit. Now, around the same time that Eastbrook was fired, McDonald's chief people officer David Fairhurst departed the company. Now, a company spokesperson stated that Fairhurst was fired because his conduct was inconsistent with the company's policy and values. The terminations were unrelated, according to the company. Well, how the hell is it unrelated? Either y'all fired his ass because he was fucking everybody in the company and that goes against policy, or you fired him for something else. Well, what was that something else? Because you trying to sue him to get the severance package back, basically. So, what did you really fire his ass for? Like, really? Now, under Easterbrook and Fairhurst, a party culture flourished. Now, that's according to the report. Now, Fairhurst did not immediately respond to requests for comments. Don't want to talk about it. Kiss my ass, I ain't saying shit. Is basically what that is. This spring, McDonald's hired Heidi Capozzi as its global chief people officer. When she started in April, she initiated a review of the human resource department. The review includes examining how people are hired and evaluated, how employee concerns are investigated, and collecting feedback from employees about the company's blind spots. Now, CEO Chris Kempinski, yeah, I'm going to say that like that because I'm butchering the damn name, and that's just what it is. My bad, Chris. Who replaced Eastbrook. Now, installed a new chief people officer, announced refreshed values with input from employees around the world, and has committed to making these values part of everything we do. Now, this is what the company said. But I want to know what the hell did he get fired for? Because if it was not related to him dicking around, what did he get fired for? And whatever you fired him for, can they actually really successfully win and get the severance package back? I'm gonna follow that shit. Because I want to know. And let this be a lesson to anybody and everybody. No matter where you work, don't be fucking nobody on a job. Leave that pussy alone. Or leave that dick alone. Get it outside the company. Because if you don't, and you do it, you're shitting where you eat. And that funk is going to hit your ass in the face, and you is not going to enjoy that shit. So, and moving along, we've got protesters surrounding tents. And this is in a homeless encampment. Which is kind of interesting because it makes me want to know what the fuck is going on with this here. Now, activists took to the streets of Hollywood to protest what they described as disruptive sweeps of homeless encampments and demand that LA leaders commandeer hotels to house people living on the streets. Okay, so this is something that's good. Hopefully it remains to be good and not change into something horrible. Now, I'm sitting here looking at the images and everything of this, and you've got a lady standing there going, "Your sweeps are violent. We will not be silent." This is what her poster board is saying. And all these people are wearing masks. Kudos to you protesters for that. Now, they blocked the streets and everything to stop the cleanup. So basically, they trying to kick these homeless people. They already on the streets, but you trying to kick them off the streets? Okay, so you go from having a home to being homeless and living on the streets, and now you even getting kicked off the streets. So where do they go? How the fuck does that make sense if they're not providing some type of help? That's that ignorance I'll be talking about. Now, the Services Not Sweeps Coalition said it had booked hotel rooms for more than 20 people who sleep near a city shelter in Hollywood and was occupying their spots on the streets to resist the scheduled cleanup in the area. Now, protesters denounced such comprehensive cleanups, the term used by the city for cleanups that require homeless people to remove their tents, as destructive. Oh, we got a caller. On One Radio. Who am I speaking with?
This is Richard Doctor. How you doing?
Why, hello. How are you?
Had to do a collection agency calling on behalf of her regarding a resident that I had when I was driving.
Ooh, boo collection agencies. Boo.
Well, see, the thing is, I don't have a problem with them calling because one, there was an incident where I got into a fender bender, but somebody hit me.
Okay.
So the insurance wants to be that he did not pay the claim.
Well, all right. That's, yeah.
On top of that, because the guy hit me, the guy openly acknowledged that he hit me. So if you openly acknowledge that you hit me, why is your insurance company trying to deny the claim? I don't have time for that.
I know that's right. I wouldn't have time for that neither. No, pay up.
Right.
It is what it is. Go on,
Right.
cough that shit
Yeah.
up.
If they were smart, Hertz trying to get me to pay $1,000 deductible. If insurance was smart, they'd call me and say, okay, what's your deductible so that way we can pay that instead of paying the $3,800 that this will pay.
Okay.
But, of course, I called the guy and he's like, well, I didn't hit you. I don't know what you're doing because I didn't tell you to do that. So then when I called them, I'm like, yeah, we're declining it. He's not responsible. I'm like, how is he not responsible? He's responsible for his own vehicle.
Well, I'll be damned.
Right.
This shit is crazy.
It is.
That shit is crazy. It's like accountability all the fucking way around.
Absolutely.
Just a madhouse.
Absolutely. So, what's going on today? What's the show's topic?
Well, it is an open discussion on pretty much anything and everything that's on your mind. And we've already went over COVID and the not wearing the mask and the McDonald's investigation of their CEO because he want to fuck everybody he work with. And
Donald investigation? I heard that.
yeah, CEO dude he was thinking with his dick instead of his brain, and you don't fuck who you work with. That's not a good look.
No, it's not. But sadly, so many people do it during the course of their careers.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, I will admit about that myself.
Yeah, I've learned that hard lesson too when I was really young. But I wasn't trying to lose my job. And this guy, he got fired. They gave him a severance package, but they're suing him for it pretty much back.
Okay.
And they're saying that they didn't fire him because of him fucking everybody. It was because of something else, but they're not saying what that something else is. But they suing his ass for that money back. So now you out of a job, and they trying to sue you to get the severance package back. I hope them pussies was worth it.
For real.
Like you had a decent position and you fucked that up.
You know, more than decent.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, he had a cushy position.
This McDonald's is reportedly investigating an ex-CEO covered up for co-workers.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
There's some party shit that was going on. I wouldn't be surprised if they was having orgies and shit and all of that.
Hey, anything is possible
Hell yeah.
in this world that we live in.
Yes, it definitely is. And
Yes, possible.
it don't stop neither.
No, it doesn't.
Somebody always doing something. Like, it's always something popping, something going on, somebody doing some stupid shit. As a matter of fact, you're online, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, you can maybe pull this up for me. Okay, so I heard this thing about this chick. Apparently, she supposedly got shot in the ass, but then afterwards was twerking at the hospital. Have you heard about that?
Rightfully, no. That's ridiculous. The only woman that I've heard recently who got shot was Megan Thee Stallion, who got shot by the Black Smurf Tory Lanez. Which I personally, I laugh about that situation.
Yeah.
That situation in a whole brings up another discussion, brings up another topic. The topic because where black women say they don't feel protected by black men.
Okay. Yeah, it does.
Now, you know me personally.
Yes.
For years.
Yeah.
You know there is not a woman alive who can say that she did not feel protected in my presence.
True.
Matter of fact, heck, I know some women who are around me simply because they felt safe.
Yeah.
So,
And women do that.
When women say things like, "Oh, I didn't feel safe," or "I don't feel safe around this or that," I laugh.
Right.
And not to be funny, and I'm not trying to be an ass. So if anybody is offended by what I'm saying, I will apologize if you feel offended, but I'm gonna stand by my word.
Right.
First of all, ladies need to, one, be sure of who they are around.
That is true.
Two, in the case of Megan Thee Stallion, I'm sorry, you 5'10",
Mm-hmm.
in the upper regions of 170 some, 180 some pounds.
Right.
This dude is 5'3" and 120 pounds, starting his mugshot and all that. And like I said, I don't want to sound like an ass, but who is going to feel safe around this person?
Yeah. That's a good question. That's a good question, though. I mean, it's like you said, you gotta take some responsibility, because in life, you pick and choose who is in your circle, you pick and choose where you live, where you go. So if you put yourself in a fucked up position, you can't blame a guy for not protecting you or not doing it good enough or whatever the case may be.
Right.
It's self-responsibility to a certain point. It'd be a different story if, say, you and I were walking down the street in Dallas and some guy come out of nowhere and, run up on me trying to take my purse or whatever. And, you do what you do. You help. Or if you chose not to help, it's still personal choice, because if I was alone, I would have to fend for myself. So I would always have something on me, because I got what I call purple passion. I keep my taser on me and I keep it charged. I will roast a nigga nuts or a chick's tits. I will fry your ass. You come fucking with me. I'm going to defend myself. I'm not going to necessarily depend on a man to protect me. That's just a bonus.
Right.
That's really a bonus. Because there's no law anywhere. The law of the land or government law that says every man has a duty to protect every female. You're not going to find it. You're not going to find it.
The only thing which we are required to protect by nature is the woman we love,
Mm-hmm.
children we bring into the world are responsible for.
Right. Familiar.
That is optional.
Right. It's like having a bowl of ice cream. You pick and choose what goes on top of it. If you want cookies on top of it, or if you want Reese's on top of it, and then you get them Reese's. If them Reese's is spoiled and you done ate it, hey, that was your choice.
And you also pick and choose the flavor.
Right. Now, if you choose some dude, let's say, we always use this, Ray Ray. Now, if you choose Ray Ray, and you know Ray Ray, he act like a thug and a gangster, but in reality, when shit pop off, he run. You chose Ray Ray. You chose to go to the bottom where Ray Ray likes to hang out, knowing that bullshit pop off.
Uh-huh.
So there's a huge amount of self accountability and responsibility that goes into that. I'm not finna go to the car line knowing on a Friday night, knowing every week somebody gets shot at the car line.
Agreed.
It just,
Now, right, it defies logic.
yeah.
That also brings me to another thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's something about this girl who got shot in the butt and was at the hospital twerking.
Yeah.
That brings, now, I haven't seen this, don't know anything about it, but that brings me to protests that were going on, how there were some people out there twerking, and then you had the gay people out there voguing and doing all that. What does that have to do with the protest? I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't, that's extra. It's
really extra, unnecessary, and a great way, not a good way, but a great way to actually be viewed as foolish, and no one's going to take what you're doing seriously.
Yeah, that's true. It defeats the purpose of even being out there. Because your point of being out there is distorted by the behavior and the lack of class that goes into the purpose of protesting. Let's just be honest about that shit.
Right. And now, speaking of protests, Jacob Blake, a 29-year-old man, gets shot 7 times in the back by a police officer. Now,
I saw that.
my opinion may vary from some to a certain extent, but I'm going to tell you why it varies. And then we can go from there depending on whichever way you may actually feel about it. So, we know, first of all, he was there breaking up a fight. Question 1. Well, before I get into the question, he was there breaking up a fight. As he was breaking up the fight between 2 women, apparently cops came up because it was a domestic call. Now, somehow his name got mentioned in there, and they ran his plates or whatever, or they ran his name. Apparently, the man got a warrant for his arrest over child molestation or something like that. Now,
not fucking the babies. Come on now.
I don't know exactly what all that was about, but what they say, 2 of the officers wrestled with the man. He got up and he walked to his car. They followed him to the car, and when he opened the door, supposedly he was trying to reach in the car, and that's when he got shot in the back 7 times. Now, first off, I don't care what the man did, and I don't care who the person is. Even if he was a white person, I would say the same thing. But if you had that man on the ground and he wrestled his way back up, before you get to the point of shooting him, you have 5 different options.
Yes.
Because remember this, a police officer carries 4 things on him that can be used before a gun.
Right.
He's got handcuffs. He's got pepper spray. He's got mace. Pepper spray is mace, excuse me. He's got pepper spray or mace. He's got a taser. And he's got a nightstick or baton. So you mean to tell me that, and then you could also tackle the man. You mean to tell me nobody could run and tackle this man? You mean to tell me, which I've seen police officers do suspects, run up behind the suspect and run and kick him into the back?
Right.
I actually saw that happen with officers doing that to a black man who was surrendering. So they can't tell me it cannot be done.
Right.
But ultimately, my point is this. he did not deserve to get 7 shots in his back.
No, not at all.
Now, on the other hand, number one, as I just spoke about protecting your loved one, why are you going to break up a fight but you got your kids in the car?
Oh, whoa. See, that's priority right there. Your priorities got to be right. If your kids are in the car, your kids are your first priority. Their safety comes before anybody else.
I'm not about to get in nobody's business if my son is with me. I'm
Right.
not. That's going to wait for another day. I got the kid with me. And then also, if you know you have warrants, what are you doing breaking up a fight?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, common sense now. Common sense.
It's the things we choose to do that can put us in situations that it's a no return from.
Right. And see, the thing is, I was actually arguing with some folks on Twitter, and they were like, oh, you're supporting him, you're supporting this, and you're supporting a racist, and he's a pedophile. I'm like, look, I'm not saying any of that. All I'm saying is there were too many shots. There were 7 shots is excessive.
It is. It is. And the way it's supposed to go, like you said, it's things that they carry. You go from non-lethal, and lethal is the very last resort. It's the very last resort. And not to mention, one thing that everyone is supposed to carry is something that is mental, and that is common sense.
Yeah, but the thing is also, if you think about the same situation, one, I don't care what anybody says, and I welcome the day that I get a chance to actually sit with an officer and just ask. So, can you tell me why you would treat a white suspect this way and a black suspect one way?
Yeah.
I have my thoughts on it.
Right.
But I want to ask one of them directly.
Yeah. I would love to ask that question too. Just to see what bullshit answer you get. Because it's going to be a bullshit answer. Because they're not going to hold themselves accountable. Because if they don't want anyone else to force them to be accountable, they're damn sure not going to hold accountability towards themselves. They just not going to do it.
The thing is, if you do it one way for a black suspect, but you don't do it for a white suspect, I mean, you have given yourself reason once again because of the choices you've made to be called out.
Yeah. That's true. That is so true. But there's a lot wrong with how they handle situations. And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse.
Oh, speaking of which, so of course you know that has rolled over into a protest.
Yeah.
Protest, riot, attacking the police station, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Now, last night, a white young man, 17 years old, was walking with a rifle.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you haven't heard about this yet?
I haven't got that one yet. Please tell us about that.
Now, the guy's name it's Kyle. Let me look it back up again. It actually created a bit of a mess, I guess I can put it.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me find this. Okay, here we go. Kyle Rittenhouse.
Okay.
And I actually shared a photo or two on his page. Now, what's interesting about Kyle Rittenhouse, apparently he was up there in the protest, which it also should not be underestimated the fact that there are a lot of people out there destroying things. Now, the funny thing is, when you see these protests because Black Lives Matter, the majority of people who are destroying things are not black. So in the case of young Mr. Rittenhouse here, he's got what looks to be an AR-15 type rifle, and he's trained to use this rifle. I say that because I'm looking at a picture of him right now. He's got good discipline. Good trigger discipline.
Right.
And trigger discipline is something that you teach if you know what you're teaching.
Right.
So as I'm looking at this, I'm like, check this dude out. And he's got on gloves. He has on, like hospital-type gloves that nurses and doctors wear.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he's trying to escape fingerprints.
Right. Covering that ass.
Yeah, so if he's got that on, that tells me he knew he was up there doing something he wasn't supposed to do.
Oh, yeah, I got your picture you sent. Yes, he does. He's even holding it correctly.
Well, exactly.
Posture and everything is on point.
Mm-hmm.
I see it. Oh, my goodness.
So what's also so interesting about that? If you really think about it, that also highlights another issue.
Mm-hmm.
In the black community, more often than not, we don't teach our children about guns early enough.
Right.
You tell the way he's holding this thing, he has learned about guns from a young age.
Yes, he's comfortable. He's secure. And
Very comfortable. I mean,
yeah.
he was as comfortable as I was in the Army.
Right.
And for me, as an Army veteran, to actually say that about a 17-year-old who's technically not old enough to join the Army yet, that's more than my concern.
Yeah.
I digress. But let's go back here to this here situation. Apparently, somebody was supposed to be throwing a Molotov cocktail. I don't know if he assumed it was going to be at him or whatever like that. And then somebody was saying, go ahead, you going to shoot me, nigga, shoot me, nigga.
Oh,
And
damn.
unfortunately, he shot. Now, see, once again, this goes to the old saying, play stupid games, get stupid prizes.
Right.
If you don't have a gun, you should not dare somebody with a gun because they might take you up on that dare, number one.
Yeah, they're gonna call your damn bluff. That's stupid as hell.
Number two, let's also be realistic. The way from COVID to the protests all summer,
Mm-hmm.
if I go to a protest, I'm not going empty-handed. Especially if I know that I have weapons, I'm not going empty-handed. Not only that, if I don't have weapons, why am I going? Why am I going? Because if I pay attention to all the protests and shit going on, people have weapons. People are there for destruction.
Mm-hmm.
I saw in June of the Black Lives Matter protest that went all the way to New Mexico. Hold on a second.
It just goes to show the stupidity and the ignorance.
Well, wait though. Wait. Hold up, Seth.
If you're just now tuning in, you are listening to On One Radio, the talk show podcast station. Tonight's show is an open discussion. We're talking about everything from business to relationships to injustice. Whatever's currently happening in the news or on your mind, we are talking about it. And the caller online is Richard Ogbu. We are getting it.
Okay, Tony, I'm back.
All right.
My son was letting me know he was going to go out and grab something to eat.
Okay.
Okay, so this protest went into that. He killed that guy, turned around and started walking or whatever, and was able to run away. At one point, he got dropped to the ground. When he dropped to the ground, somebody else came running toward him, and he shot him. If I'm correct, he shot 3 people in total and killed 2 of them. One of them shot him through his arm. So he got up, he was able to run to the area where the police were.
Mm-hmm.
He was running, and then by the time he got over to the police, he slowed down and was walking slower. If you look on my Twitter page, I shared a video where there was a guy who was a white supremacist who actually was saying, the police officer said, you know, thank you for coming out here and supporting us, blah, 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 blah. We'll actually chase a lot of the protesters down this way, and then you can deal with them. Now, obviously, that's a problem in and of itself.
So it's herding going on, like they're sheep or something.
Yeah, the thing is,
To slaughter.
There's hurting going on. That's the perfect phrase for it. Where I am right now, at this point in my life, I'm not going to nobody's protest. There's literally no reason to. And, of course, now, this morning, it had not happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because he wasn't arrested, he wasn't apprehended or anything. But as of this point, it happened a couple hours ago.
Okay.
This young man, Kyle Rittenhouse, and it was 2 people that he was killed.
Okay.
He was finally arrested today.
It took that long, huh?
Yeah.
See how they slack on their duties, but they're quick to murder.
Well, you have to also look at this too. And like I said, I'll hopefully question anybody about it. If you have the complexion for the protection, shout out to Paul Mooney.
Yay, man.
If you have the complexion for the protection, you're not going to be bothered.
Right.
However, if you don't, because they jealous of your tan, they jealous of your tan, they jealous of your melanin, and you're going to catch hell. That's the major difference.
Yeah.
In other words, that's just be a nice way of saying, guess what, you're black, so therefore they're going to fuck with you. And if you're white, they're going to let you ride.
I mean,
Now,
that's a known fact. It's just that they'll claim it's not.
Right. But the thing is, they're beginning, with the advent of social media and cameras, we're able to now provide proof of the differences. Let me also state this. I was having a conversation with a Nigerian dear friend of mine who lives in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And she was asking, you know, why do they do what they do? What is it? What is it? Is it an inferiority complex? What's the actual issue? And I said, I think I know.
Agbu, are you there? Okay, I think we lost him for a second. Well, he made some really good points. Like I said, there's a lot going on, and that's definitely one of them. There's no accountability. There's a huge lack. Okay, I think he's back. All right. We have you back?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay, so, like I was saying, the reason one, because they've been getting away with this crap since slavery.
Yeah.
That's what they feel, because if they kill somebody white, there's going to be more lawyers involved and all sorts of different things. If
Yeah.
somebody black, they're going to pray and forgive, because unfortunately, we have been hit with this whole forgiveness vibe, which allows us to get away with the atrocities that they commit against us. And no matter what we say, depopulation.
Yes. And just flat out depopulation.
Well, not depopulation, but genetic annihilation. There's a difference.
Well, no, they're trying to get rid of all the African American people.
Look, they're trying to get rid of all the African people, period.
Yeah.
They're trying to get rid of melanated people. But the reason why I say it like that as opposed to depopulation,
Mhm.
consider this fact. If a black man marries a white woman, that child is going to come out black. However, if that child who comes out black marries somebody white, they may end up, oh, he didn't take his key. Excuse me. You didn't take your key? Has the level do that? That's why I gave you quarters. Laundromat's right next door.
You guys can find On One Radio on Facebook. I post on WordPress, Instagram, Twitter, and if you would like to email On One Radio, you can do so at onOneRadioTalk@gmail.com. You can also find me over on YouTube. The name over there is Tony On One. And you can find all the different shows that On One Radio has, from Let's Talk to Sound Meditation.
Right.
And you can find Sister Such and Such. If you hadn't met her, she is raw, yet funny character. But she gonna tell your ass the truth. Yes, and if you don't have the number, you can call On One Radio. I put it on the post and everything. I put it on the post and everything, and it's on all the sites. But if you don't have the number is 318-315-3971. Again, the number is 318-315-3971. You can call up and just talk. Agbu, are you still there?
Yeah, I am. I'm back. Okay, so what I was actually getting at was genetic annihilation.
Mm-hmm.
Within a span of 2 or 3 generations, black blood can eliminate any other ethnic because of the melanin.
Right.
And yeah, they worry about that. Conversely, the less black blood you have, you can also be eliminated. Which is probably a reason why you see a lot of things in social media and television shows and such that promote, well, intermingling, interracial relationships, swirling, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Case in point, the Democratic Vice President candidate, Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Kamala Harris, first Indian senator in the United States Senate.
Right.
There's a reason why I say it like that, too. Because she's Indian, and that's red dot Indian, not Native American.
Mm-hmm.
Her mother's full Indian, her father's half Indian, half Jamaican, which makes her 75% Indian, 25% Jamaican, and in this case, that would be black Jamaican.
Mm-hmm.
And the other half, obviously, Indian Jamaican, but Indian still.
Right.
Now, Miss Harris, or I should say Mrs. Harris, but actually I think her husband's name is Hoffman, white gentleman, Jewish lawyer. If they had a child, which they don't have any children,
Mm-hmm.
he has children from a previous marriage, she doesn't have it. They had a child, that child would basically erase whatever melanin was in her body, thereby destroying the quote-unquote black bloodline.
Right.
And that's something which is very major, too.
Yeah.
That's another major fact. And also, they do it because we haven't stopped them yet.
Yeah.
You and I have had this discussion before, where we said there's only two ways that they can and will be stopped.
Yep.
You have to hit them with something that affects them.
Mm-hmm.
And that would either be one, affect their finances or affect their life, period.
Yeah. That's it. Because any other way, it's not going to have any true effect.
True.
It's like tossing a very small pebble into the ocean and expecting to see any type of ripples or waves.
Mm-hmm.
Because it has to be done. I'm telling you, if they started suing every last one of them, I'm talking about off the top.
Mm-hmm.
Start suing. That'll start slowing some of it down. And then you fold over in the rest. And people actually start standing up and being vocal in the right way. Taking precautions, the right precautions. And something can affect that. It'll be affected. But other than that, the shit just gonna keep going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because all these protests with the twerking and the voguing and all of that ain't doing shit. It's a shit show.
It's actually making us look stupid.
It's a shit show. Because it has nothing to do with it and it's not going to affect any change. It is going to solidify the thought that they have of us. Like, all they want to do is party, all they want to do is dance, all they want to do is drink or get drunk. All their stereotypes.
Which means that nobody would be taken seriously.
Exactly. It's that one bad apple.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to effectively do anything. There won't be any progressive communication or changes. Because it's going to be viewed as stupid. That's pretty much all it's going to be. That's all it's going to be.
But while we are talking about forgiveness and lack thereof,
Mm-hmm.
The whole Jacob Blake situation,
Yes.
his mother talking the whole forgiveness thing and don't tear up Kenosha because of what happened and all that other kind of stuff. Now, mind you, Jacob Blake was shot 7 times in his back.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you're aware of this, but he's now paralyzed.
Yes. Yes, he
Which
is.
is seriously unfortunate. Because regardless of the fact that, one, it was a questionable move for him to be there in the first place.
Right.
And two, he shouldn't have had his kids there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wish a person to be paralyzed ever. That's one thing I would never wish on anybody.
Right.
And I've been known to dislike some folks, but obviously no. That's one thing I would never.
No, you don't wish anything like that on anybody.
So, there's about a 2-minute video where his mom was speaking, of course, and she's got Ben Crump, the attorney, by her side.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the only thing Ben Crump is good for at this point is to beg, is to actually sue for money or whatever like that. Now, what was interesting was Mr. Blake's father.
Mm-hmm.
He was also interviewed, and both of these were out in the public. About a 30-second video, maybe 25 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't forgiving shit.
Yeah.
He's not forgiving shit, and he's like, you guys are saying that it's being investigated and all that. And I'm sorry. If it's someone who's white is doing the
Yeah.
Right.
Which I can understand because there's so much cover up and there's so much sweeping under the rug that happens. Evidence gets misplaced. It's always something
Right.
to fuck up the case, basically, to the point to where the person either gets a slap on the wrist or shit just gets dismissed.
Mm-hmm. You know what's funny? Now, I'm looking at this here, and it's good that this is actually out here. Somebody made a post that says, do you think Caucasian Americans would tolerate the killing of unarmed Caucasian men by black officers?
That's laughable. It's really laughable because we know the answer to that.
Right, but see, the thing is, I believe the person who actually posted it, well, the person who actually shared it, not the person who posted it, is someone who's a friend of mine.
Mhm.
And obviously, if you share something like that, you're trying to get a rise out of it. You're trying to get a rise out of people, and also you're trying to get people to pay attention.
Mhm.
Question of whether people don't pay attention.
That's that awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's that awareness. I mean,
Right.
it's got to be known. If you don't put it out there, because it's so much going on that a lot of people have actually shut down as far as watching the news or listening to the radio or reading the newspaper, whether it's the actual paper online or they, cut down their Facebook watch hours because of everything that's going on. A lot of people get depressed and they're just like, well, you know what? I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to hear it. It's too much bad going on. But by the same token, that means there's a lack of information. That means you don't know what's going on around you,
Mm-hmm.
which is not good for your safety. Because if you're not informed on what's going on, then you can't make an informed decision about where to go to, where not to go to, who to be around and what have you, because you don't know what's going on. And on the note of the forgiveness, now I am a Christian, true enough. I'm a different type of Christian. Let me put that out there. And I know people are going to be like, what the hell is the difference? I'm more of a realist on a lot of shit. Yes, true enough, I believe in forgiveness. But at the same token, I can forgive you and still want your ass to be held accountable for the bullshit you did. I want people to know what you did. I want something done about it. I'm going to want justice for it. That's the difference. Now, the whole thing about the rioting, I'm not down with that. And there's a lot of people that are doing it. Now, all of them are not black. True enough. Because they want it to be known that it's all the black people that are starting it or doing it. It's not. But rioting is not going to affect change. Rioting is not going to get the justice that we all seek for the lives that have been taken. Rioting, it doesn't make sense to destroy your neighborhood. It does not make sense to destroy the businesses in your neighborhood. It's stupid. I'm going to say that shit. It's stupid as hell, and I'm going to need y'all to sit y'all ass down, the ones who are black and doing it. Now, the ones who are of another skin tone that are doing this, I know why your ass is doing this, because you're trying to start some shit. You trying to perpetuate violence. You trying to put that bag on black people. Look, see, you want to throw rocks and then hide your hands when the popos come, and be like, oh, hello, John, how are you doing? No, everything's cool and copacetic. No, motherfucker, you were the one who set that building on fire. You were the one who shot into the crowd. You started this bullshit, but you not gonna admit to that shit. You gonna blame it automatically. Oh, it was a black guy. It was a big black guy. Or it's a group of big black guys. Stop the madness.
I just heard from somebody that apparently this Kyle Rittenhouse, people that he killed were not black. Let's hear white dude in the red shirt from the gas station, white skateboarder in the chest, and the white paramedic cat guy that pulled his gun out.
See, they do shit that we can't do.
Of course.
Because we get killed. Just like the kid, the image you sent me with the young man looks like he's walking down the middle of the fucking street holding a gun. His ass didn't get shot. He's still alive. But let that have been one of our children doing that, he wouldn't have took more than 5 steps before he got killed. If not more.
And that would be an officer trying to be light with his bullets, trying to save some bullets.
But you got so many of these officers who are keeping count. They're like competing with each other on how many black people they can kill.
Of course.
They're laughing about this. They're joking about this. It's all over social media, and then they want to try to delete the shit and hide it. But once you put it out there, it's out there. That's another reason why I really believe that when people see things like that on social media, put their ass on blast. Share that shit. Tag as many people as you can and spread it. Let people know. See, this is what we're up against. This is why we're protesting. This is why we're upset. This is injustice. This is the proof of what's going on. Because once it's out there and it gets spread like that, the more it's spread, the more the administration has to do something about it. Because it can't be just lightly swept under the rug, saying, "Oh no, it was an accident. Oh, it was a prank. Oh, it was this. Oh, it was that." No, you can't do that.
Oh, and guess what?
What's up?
Taking a step further. So, of course, you know, the NBA playoffs are going on inside the bubble.
Yes.
Houston and Oklahoma City, they decided to boycott their game. The players. And the Milwaukee Bucks, the team that has the best record in the regular season, had to boycott their game. So the NBA just decided to postpone all the games.
Okay. I see. Interesting, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
So, question. If most of those players were Caucasian, would the NBA have chose to do that? I'm just asking.
So what's the question?
If
what? Would the NBA still do it?
yeah,
I don't know. Now, fortunately, the NBA is majority black.
mm-hmm.
We're sympathetic to issues. Now, the question is, will the NFL do something like that?
Well, it's some things. Speaking of the NFL, it's some things going on with them. It's one of their teams got some sexual harassment shit going on.
Just one? The thing is,
I know it's not just one, but it's one that's made the headlines. Let's put it like that.
Redskins.
Yes.
Which they're not even the Redskins anymore. They're trying to come up with a new name.
Yeah. Yes, they
They're
are.
trying to come up with Red Tails or Guardians. I think those are the top 2 names we're
Let's call them no name team. How about that?
Just Washington.
Yeah, pretty much, because that's pretty much what people are going to end up calling them anyway. But, yeah, they've made the headlines. Because they done launched an investigation about the team owner, Daniel Snyder, and some of the other team executives. They're getting called out. And this just happened on Wednesday. Wait, was it last Wednesday or was it today? Actually, today.
Oh.
Yes, this is today. Now, 25 female former employees of the team made...
Cheerleader was going through hell, too.
Yeah. Now, they made harassment accusations against Snyder and others, citing the incidents included illicit video of cheerleaders in various stages of undress during a calendar shoot and some more shit. So, I mean, that shit is... Folks is tired of going through shit they going through.
Uh-huh.
They really are. And cheerleaders, they don't make money that folks think they make, and I don't know why the hell they think they make money like that, but they don't.
Because they're attached to football teams that are worth millions of dollars, and that's why people think that they make a lot of money.
They don't make shit like that.
They don't. And because back in the day, you know, the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, they were world famous.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, think about it. If you're world famous, everybody assumes that you're making big money because you're world famous.
That don't mean shit.
It doesn't.
And then, okay, so you got these cheerleaders who are putting in work because it's not a real easy job to be a cheerleader because it's physically demanding. They got to work out and everything. They got to do strict diets. They got to keep a certain weight.
Uh-huh.
And you're basically forcing them in a certain way to be somewhat of sex symbols.
Uh-huh.
They don't want to admit that, but it's true.
It is true.
And so they're not getting paid. They got to do all this damn work. They got to do all this traveling. And on top of that, the teams do not pay for their travel. They got to pay for that shit themselves.
Oh, hell no. That's crazy.
Yeah, like they don't even pay for that. Their, hotel stays, they gotta pay for all their own shit. It's basically just exposure to be visually famous. Now you gotta deal with harassment. Now you gotta deal with these people pretty much treating you like, basically like you a hoe.
Basically, yeah.
You gotta do this, or you're not gonna be on the cheerleading team, or intimidation and everything else. And I'd be damned if I'm gonna go through all that bullshit. And then on top of that, they've got independent investigations going on. When you get them independent investigations going on, somebody's ass is finna be in trouble. But, and I'm going to say this, but because these are Caucasian people, these are Caucasian men, are they really going to get in trouble? I mean, it's just...
The answer is probably not.
Yeah, probably not. Because, I mean, it's a lot of these men that treat women like they're just toys. Like they're above them, so they don't have any worth, or they don't mean shit, so whatever happens to them, oh well, that's just a part of being a woman. No. Not at all. It shouldn't happen. But it also goes back to choices, and also putting yourself in certain situations. Now, I'm not blaming these women for what happened to them. I'd never do that.
Right.
But sometimes we can add to our own situations. Some of the things we say, some of the things we do. Not completely thinking some shit through. And hell, I didn't make the choice to be no cheerleader, because I'm not going through all this bullshit for nothing. Just for somebody to have me on their calendar at their house. That don't mean shit. That's not putting no money in my bank account. That's not gonna put my kids through college. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's almost like a damn hobby. A career hobby. Like a career hobby. Because, I mean, they done told these women, 17 of them made similar accusations to the newspaper about the team.
Uh-huh.
Now, Snyder, he did make a statement about it. And this is what he said. The Washington Post article reads like a hit job. Now, relying on unnamed sources and allegations that are largely 10 to 20 years old, Snyder said, "We attempted to engage with the Washington Post to provide them with the facts, but those facts clearly did not align with their narrative." Covering his ass. Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
Because that's what that is. But he says the Washington Post article reads like a hit job. A hit job? What train of thought would bring him to say that?
Because he's a quote-unquote victim of the hit job.
He ain't no victim, hell. If you did it, you ain't no victim.
True. But when I say it like that, I'm saying that because he's the intended target of the article.
Right. But you know, like they say, a hit dog will holler.
Right.
A hit dog will holler. But, I mean, that's choices all the way around. All the way around. And I would say I wouldn't suggest being a cheerleader to anybody as far as in the NFL, because off the top, it's dominated by men. So every man is not going to be a gentleman. So off the top, you're going to know that it's a great damn chance that somebody is going to come with some fuckery.
Yeah.
So to a certain extent, either you prepare yourself for this and go ahead and do it, or don't do it. And for these guys, it's a damn choice. You ain't gotta fuck with the cheerleaders. Leave them the fuck alone. Let them do their hobby. They're there to entertain the crowd. They're not there for your personal pleasure. It's too many other females out there outside of those cheerleaders that you can play with, who don't mind being a toy.
True.
It's a choice. But it tends to happen all the way around. Everything we've discussed today has really been about the choices that people have made and the actions or lack of actions. But there's always something we can do. Always. And it's always a better way to do things. So, for the protesters, God damn it, stop twerking and voguing. That ain't got shit to do with why the fuck you out there.
Not at all.
The NFL, if your ass is guilty, your ass is guilty. You gonna have to deal with it. Take your motherfucking hit like a G. Own that shit and do what you gotta do. And stop trying to play and diddle with the damn cheerleaders. And for the McDonald's thing, don't shit on the table where you gotta eat at. Meaning, don't fuck nobody on your job Don't even get in a relationship. Don't do none of that shit. Your job is your job. Keep that shit professional and let that be that. It's too many women out there for that.
Especially if you're in management or above.
Yeah. But you know what? It's just safer to not do it, period. No matter what level you are. So you won't have shit that's going to come back on you. You ain't got to worry about that. Keep that shit separate. Keep your job separate from everything else. Keep that shit professional so you can keep your damn job. And for everyone out there listening, know this. Every day above ground is a great day. And think about the choices you make before you do anything. Before you do anything or say anything, just think about it first. Make sure the shit is right. And if you're around somebody who don't necessarily do that, you might want to thinking about who you be around. So you don't put yourself in a fucked up position. And anytime you want to talk, hit up On One Radio. And let's talk. Agbu, it is great to have you on the show. As usual, you know, we done took up well over an hour. You know, we get into it.
I came on late because of my hurt situation.
That's okay. That's fine. Better late than never.
I still made it.
Right. And we still got to talk and got it out there. And we, as usual, you are always welcome to come back. Now, let the listeners know where they can find you if they want to talk to you.
If you want to find me on Facebook. Richard, last name Ogbu, spelled O-G-B-U. I think I have multiple profiles. Find the one with me smiling with the goatee and a red T-shirt. That is my active profile. Don't choose any other profile but that one. That's where you can find me the quickest.
All right.
I have a Twitter profile too. That one is Richard my middle initial, Ogbu. That one I'm wearing a blue dress shirt. Those would be the best places to actually find me.
That is what's up. And if you're
I've not put anything out on YouTube in a very long time because I know sometimes my mouth is reckless and I'm not trying to have YouTube ban me.
Yeah, it's a battle over there on YouTube. It's so much going on over there, but that's a whole nother show topic right there. YouTube streets is a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But thank you again for being on the show, and it's always good talking to you. We talk about some of the best shit. We talk about the realest raw shit. So, guys, hit me up. Let me know if you have any comments. Tell me what you think about the show. If you have any show ideas, tips, or if you have any questions, or you have something you want to talk about. If you're listening on YouTube, comment. Let me know what's up, what's going on, and what you think. You can find me on Twitter, WordPress, Collide, Instagram, Tumblr, and we're out there. We are out there, and On One Radio is growing, and we will be putting out new shows with new topics. It's something for everybody. So, let's talk about it. All right. Now, till next time, everyone, enjoy your night. Be safe and enjoy your night.
Yes, indeed. Be safe, and if you are somewhere near the coast in Louisiana or Texas, please be safe. Please be careful.
Yes, be careful. We are facing a hurricane, and we're in the boot, so we're definitely in the path. So we're taking precautions. Everyone be safe. If you got to evacuate, please do. And wear your mask. Don't forget that. Let's end that shit.
Wear your mask.
Yes. Don't be a bitch. Don't be an asshole. Have some class. Wear your mask.
You have been listening to On One Radio, the talk show podcast station. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my talk show. Now, if you know an artistic mind who deserves a little bit of podcast love and talent recognition, email me here at oneradiotalk@gmail.com. Place it to the attention of artist highlights. If you've got some BS for the BS of the day, email it, place it to the attention of BS of the day. Now, for more, we're on YouTube. The name there is Tony On One. You can find On One Radio on Facebook. And while you're there cruising Facebook streets, check out On One's Day One's private Facebook group, where we laugh, joke, and get it in. Now, we're also on WordPress, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, Tumblr, and Collide. Podcasts are also available on most of your favorite podcast sites and apps. Again, thank you for taking the time to listen to my talk show. I wish you the best, and don't allow anyone to fuck up your vibes. I've been your host, Tony Williams.